this is not just an insult to John McCain, who clearly is a war hero and a great man, but it's an insult to all POWs, to all men and women who have served us in uniform, who have been captured in battle. And this somehow makes the assumption, or he's saying, that somehow if you're captured in battle, you're less worthy of honors than someone who isn't. It's not just absurd, it's offensive, it's ridiculous, and I do think it is a disqualifier as Commander-in-Chief.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask our next guest, Roger Simon, co-founder of PJ Media, award-winning novelist, and also a part of the Diary of a Mad Voter series at pjmedia.com. I want to ask him what he thinks of Donald Trump, but he's already told me it depends on when you catch him, because he wrote a piece called Trump as a Rorschach Test. Hello, Roger.
Yeah, well, I was just listening to Rubio there. You know what? You got to agree with the guy. He's right. On the other hand, there's Trump, and all of a sudden, a million people, or a gazillion people, are saying, yeah, yeah. So he's focusing attention on a certain amount of things. You know, but I think, you know, the trouble with Trump is he's got his priorities all wrong. First of all, for those of you in New York, and I'm sure you know this, that Starbucks in the Trump Tower is terrible. You can't get a coffee there for 45 minutes. It's awful. Try it.
I guess so. That should be his priority. Okay.
Well, he hasn't got that. I mean, if he can't get that organized, all right. The other thing is, a few years ago for PJ Media, and you can look it up at PJ TV and look at this thing up. I did what I think is the right thing for Trump to be doing. That is to take over the UN and turn it into the Trump UN. Because think about it, in gold and all that, you know, for Trump.
Make it gaudy, very gaudy.
Make it the most expensive condos in the world for retired dictators.
Well, the world would be better off, that's for darn sure.
Totally, it would be better off. At the same time, you could take guys like Assad and give them a great penthouse at the Trump UN and get them out of our hands. You know, so what if they really deserve to be killed? At least there's a compromise and they're out of the way.
All right, but let me ask you. I think one of the things you wrote in your piece is so right on target that he has done Fox News the biggest favor ever, because just like the ESPYs, by putting, I believe, Caitlyn Jenner in that award ceremony for the Arthur Ashe Award, they did it all about ratings. Well, inadvertently, Fox has stepped in it with Donald Trump, because everyone's going to be tuning in to see him on that stage.
You got to know it. I mean, that is the biggest piece of must-see television to come along since what was the big fight. Probably bigger than. I'm surprised Fox doesn't make it pay-per-view. They should do it.
That's a very good point. All right, let me. You know, you were reading the Wall Street Journal today, and as was I and others, and we are looking at this deal, this Iran deal, which I know you're writing about as we speak. The side deals that give Iran all these, it's going to be basically up to the IAEA to work out inspections when they're needed. What a crock!
It's beyond anything we could have conceived of. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up. First of all, the inspections are going to take months if they ever happen. And I'd be willing to bet my house and everybody else's they never will. And even worse, it turns out in another article by Jay Solomon, very good reporter, that in some of the side deals, we have agreed to lift the sanctions on their previously sanctioned nuclear scientists. I mean, Dr. Strangelove is back. One of these guys is a German. I mean, what is going on here? And this is the same administration that took off the table the 4 innocent Americans who were in Evin prison there in Iran.
Yeah, but then did you hear him? Did you hear Obama yesterday speaking like Iran must release our prisoners? Like, what? Are you kidding me? You know wadded away any leverage we have.
Yeah, I gave him $150 billion into the prize. It's beyond. I mean, forget if you can keep your plan and Benghazi and all those lies. This is like exponentially worse and really scary. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, it opens the gate. I mean, I don't want to be. Look, I'm an old comedy writer, and I'll stick with the jokes. But, I mean, I'm just going to think about World War III jokes.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's incumbent upon Israel now to do what hopefully it was them or whoever doing in the first place. Motorcycles pulling up to cars with scientists in them in Iran, and viruses infecting computers in the nuclear program. They're going to have to double down on that, because otherwise it's going to be very, very, very bad news. Roger, we'll check out.
Okay.
We'll check out media.
Speaking of the viruses, check that out. We already sold. We're going to give them information on how to stop viruses.
Yeah. we'll follow. We'll check you out on pjmedia.com. Appreciate it, my friend. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, give me 5. But first, Donald Trump remains at the top of most of the GOP polls. Now, the media and his critics say he doesn't have a plan. Apparently, he does. In fact, he wrote a book. And that says that he will make America great again. It's called Time to Get Tough. And it outlines his plan to roll back Obama's policy, secure the border, deal with China terrorism, and so much more. Newsmax has a free offer for Trump's book. Go to newsmax.com/TrumpBook. That's newsmax.com/TrumpBook and get your copy now.